out of play, and now Kachuk freight trains from behind.
They shook hands, smiled for the cameras, and then boom, he cross-checked him right in the face.
This is one that is just an absolute huge collision.
You'd expect that from a bar fight, but nope, it happened in the NHL right after a playoff game. Yeah, this one's gonna be messy. These are the 20 craziest NHL 0% sportsmanship moments, and trust me, you're not ready. Let's start with one of the dirtiest post-game moves ever. In 2021, Mark Scheifele absolutely crushed Jake Evans during a wraparound goal. The puck was already in the net, but Scheifele came flying in like a truck. Evans was out cold. No defense, no puck. Just pure frustration.
This is one that is just an absolute huge collision. And
that hit led to a 4-game suspension and a massive brawl the very next game. Even fans were furious. Many called it a revenge hit. Zero respect, zero sportsmanship. Next, let's go back a bit. Milan Lucic, 2014 playoff. During handshakes, Lucic told Dale Wise, "I'm gonna smash you next year." Yep, post-game handshake turned into a full-blown threat. That's not hockey honor, that's street-level raid. And we're just getting started. And if you thought that handshake threat was bad, wait till you see what Brad Marchand did. Not once, but twice. Yep, Marchand. The guy who doesn't just get under your skin, he licks it. In 2018, during the playoffs, Marchand literally licked Ryan Callahan. Face-to-face, helmet-to-helmet, then licked. The refs didn't even call a penalty. Fans were shocked. Even the NHL had to step in and say, enough is enough.
Tighten it up in our end as...
And guess what? Earlier that same playoff run, he did it to Leo Komarov too. This wasn't trash talk. This was pure mockery. From licking to something way more dangerous now. Tom Wilson, the NHL's repeat offender. In 2021, he slammed Artemi Panarin's head into the ice during a post-whistle scrum. Panarin wasn't wearing a helmet. Could have been a major injury. Wilson only got a $5,000 fine. The Rangers were so mad, they released an official team statement calling the NHL's decision a joke. That night, it ended in a line brawl. Players dropped gloves right at the face-off. So yeah, sportsmanship, gone. After that chaos with Wilson, let's go back to another moment where a player just lost it. For real. David Bax, back when he was with the Blues, got hit hard by Joe Thornton. Now, it was a clean hit. No whistle, no drama, but when Bax got up, he told the bench, next shift, I'm going after him. And he did. Bax chased Thornton the next time they were on ice. No puck, no play. Just straight up revenge mode.
A good comeback from Cadry. They're wild.
He grabbed him, threw punches, and both benches started yelling. It was a clear case of, I don't care about the game, I just want payback. Now, let's talk about Corey Perry. In 2020, during the Winter Classic, Perry threw a knee-to-knee hit on Ryan Ellis. Less than 3 minutes into the game, Ellis was injured. Perry got a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. He had to take that long, awkward walk of shame through the stadium tunnel on national TV, in front of everyone.
They want a 5-minute penalty.
And guess what? He didn't even apologize. That's not just dirty, that's cold. Perry's cold hit may have shocked fans, but what Chris Simon did, that crossed every single line. Back in 2007, Simon got checked into the boards by Ryan Hallweg. Instead of skating away, he turned around and swung his stick like a baseball bat straight at Hallweg's face. It was ugly, dangerous, no excuse. Simon got suspended for 25 games, one of the longest bans ever at the time. Even his own team couldn't defend it. Fans were stunned. That wasn't hockey, that was assault. Now fast forward to something even weirder. In 2023, Jordan Binnington, Blues goalie, lost his mind mid-game. He gave up a goal, and instead of focusing on the next play, he charged toward Jason Zucker and tried to punch him in the face with his blocker. Goalies aren't supposed to do that. Refs gave him a misconduct, and to make it even funnier, Marc-Andre Fleury skated all the way down the ice to fight him, but the ref stopped it. Two goalies about to throw down? That's not sportsmanship, that's a circus. After that near goalie fight, you'd think things couldn't get any wilder, but then came Evander Kane. In 2014, Kane wasn't just clashing with opponents, he was fighting his own teammate. One day, he showed up to a team meeting wearing a tracksuit, which broke a team dress code. So, what did Dustin Bafuglian do? He literally threw Kane's tracksuit into the showers while he was in it. It turned into a full-blown dressing room war. Kane missed the next game. A few days later, boom, he got traded to Buffalo. Now that's what 0% team human chemistry looks like. But speaking of zero respect, remember Brad Marchand's stunt? In 2019, during the playoffs, Marchand skated up to Cam Atkinson before a face-off and literally broke his stick blade with his skate. Just stomped on it like it was garbage. Atkinson looked confused. The ref said nothing. And Marchand, he just smirked. That's not just dirty. That's disrespectful on national TV. That's not gamesmanship. That's just gross. But Marchand wasn't the only one crossing line. In 2020, Mark Scheifele took things too far, and it cost his team. During the playoffs, Jake Evans scored a wraparound empty net goal. And just as Evans celebrated, Scheifele came flying in, full speed. Boom. He absolutely leveled him, shoulder to head. Evans collapsed and didn't move. He had to be stretchered off. The arena went silent. Scheifele got a 4-game suspension, but fans were furious. That wasn't defense. That was destruction. After that brutal hit by Scheifele, you'd think players would dial it down in the playoffs. But nah, it only got uglier. Because in 2012, things exploded between the Penguins and Flyers. It wasn't hockey, it was a street fight on ice. Game 3, both teams went off the rails. Fights, slashes, trash talk, even the coaches were screaming. And then, Aaron Esham lost his mind. After a hit by Braden Shen, Esham skated over and just cross-checked him in the throat, then stood over him and mocked him with a sleeping gesture. Esham got ejected. The league fined and suspended him. But that wasn't even the craziest moment of the night. Fast forward to 2015, Milan Lucic showed us what zero respect looks like. After losing a playoff series, Lucic lined up for the handshake and whispered to Dale Wise, "I'm gonna smash you next year." Wise was stunned. He told the media. Lucic didn't even deny it. He said he didn't regret it. Handshake lines are about honor. Lucic turned it into a threat. After Lucic turned the handshake line into a death threat, you'd think that would be the line nobody crosses. But nope, Antoine Roussel didn't get the memo. This guy was built for chaos. And in 2016, he gave fans a moment they couldn't believe. During a game between the Stars and Lightning, Roussel got into a shoving match with JT Brown. Normal stuff at first. But then, Roussel ripped off Brown's helmet and headbutted him. Yep, a full-on WWE-style headbutt. Refs immediately threw him out. NHL fined him and gave him a major penalty. But the internet exploded. Fans called it pure madness, because Roussel didn't even look angry. It looked planned. And just when you thought it couldn't get dumber, let's go to 2019. Flames versus Oilers. Zach Kassian was chasing Matthew Tkachuk all game. Tkachuk kept throwing hits, but wouldn't fight. Finally, Kassian snapped, grabbed Tkachuk, and just started ragdolling him around the ice. He got suspended. But after that, the NHL scheduled their next game for primetime. They wanted that drama. And somehow, the drama wasn't over. Because 1 year later, another handshake line exploded. And this time, a player took things so personal, he refused to shake a single hand. Let's move on to the next one. It only gets crazier from here. Ready? So, it's 2013. Playoff series between the Ottawa Senators and Montreal Canadiens just ended. Usually, once the final whistle blows, it's all respect, right? Handshake line. Good game. But not this time. When the Sens eliminated the Habs in Game 5, Montreal's Brandon Proust was furious, and he made sure everyone knew it. During the handshake line, he didn't even look at some of the Ottawa players. And when it was time to shake hands with Zach Smith, he skipped him. Straight up walked past like he didn't even exist. Smith later said, "I don't care." He was mad, I'd be mad too. But come on, man, it's the playoffs. Show some class. But it didn't end there. A few months later, Proust went on live TV and called Ottawa a dirty team and said he had no respect for how they played. Imagine hating your rival so much that you can't even shake hands after a series. But if you thought that was cold, wait till you see what Khabibulin did when the other team tried to celebrate. And yeah, it's wild. Okay, picture this. It's 2011. The Colorado Avalanche just pulled off a hard-fought win over the Edmonton Oilers. The final horn sounds, and Colorado players jump off the bench to celebrate. But Oilers goalie Nikolai Khabibulin, he wasn't clapping. He wasn't shaking hands. No, he was furious. Instead of staying on the ice or showing any kind of sportsmanship, Khabibulin stormed off the ice before the handshake line could even begin. Didn't wait for anyone. Didn't look at anyone. Just skated straight down the tunnel like the game meant nothing. Commentators were stunned, fans were confused, even some Oilers teammates said later, "We didn't know what was going on. That's not the usual cabbie." But that wasn't a one-time thing. Khabibulin had a rep for being fiery. When things didn't go his way, he didn't hide it. And while walking off early might not be violent in hockey culture, that's a major slap in the face. But speaking of slaps, next up, a guy who literally tried to slap another player's helmet off during warm-up. Alright, get this. It's 2014. The Boston Bruins and Montreal Canadiens are about to face off in a heated rivalry game. The arena is packed, the crowd is buzzing, players are skating around during warmups. But then, something wild happens. Milan Lucic, known for his size and temper, locks eyes with Dale Weiss across center ice. And boom, Lucic starts skating straight toward him. At first, people think maybe he's joking. Maybe it's just chirping. Nope. Lucic gets right up in Weiss's face. No puck, no play, just straight up trash talk and aggression. He fakes a slash, jabs at Weiss's stick, and even tries to knock off his helmet. Before the game. During warm-ups, refs rush in, benches start barking, and everyone knew this game was about to get nasty. And it did. Lucic ended up in multiple scrums that night. He was that guy, already fired up before the anthem. And honestly, it set the tone for one of the dirtiest games of the season. But hey, you think that's crazy? Wait till you see a guy score and taunt the entire bench right after. Let's talk about Sean Avery. Yup, that Sean Avery. If you know hockey, you already know the dude was born to be hated. But this next moment, it was straight up disrespectful. It's 2007. The New York Rangers are playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Avery crashes the net, finds the rebound, and buries the puck for a goal. Crowd goes nuts. But Avery doesn't just celebrate. He skates right past the Leafs bench, grinning, chirping, and doing this little talking mouth hand gesture, basically mocking the entire team like, "Keep running your mouth, boys. I'm still scoring." The Leafs, they were furious. You could see fists clenching, players yelling, coaches shaking their heads. It wasn't just cocky, it was personal. And this is the same guy who once screened a goalie by waving his hands in his face like a mime. Yeah, literally. Avery had no filter, no off switch, and definitely no interest in sportsmanship. But the next guy, he took things so far, the NHL actually made a new rule because of him. Let's rewind to April 13th, 2008. Rangers versus Devils, Game 3 of the playoffs. Tension's high. And Sean Avery is parked right in front of Martin Brodeur, one of the greatest goalies in history. But Avery isn't just screening him. He turns around, faces Brodeur, and starts waving his hands in his face like a maniac. Like literally doing jazz hands, back and forth, up and down, non-stop. Even the commentators were shocked. They'd never seen anything like it. Brodeur tries to stay focused, but you can see the frustration. It wasn't just annoying, it was humiliating. And the craziest part, Avery's move was technically legal. The refs couldn't call a penalty because there was no rule against it yet. The next day, the NHL changed that. They added a rule banning players from using their hands or body to distract the goalie in an unsportsmanlike manner. That's right. Sean Avery annoyed the league so much, they wrote a brand new rule just to stop him. And speaking of rule breakers, the next moment, it was so out of line the fans started throwing stuff on the ice. It's December 23rd, 2011. Chicago Blackhawks versus Pittsburgh Penguins. Tied game, overtime. Jonathan Toews, captain of the Blackhawks, charges toward the net. He's got a breakaway. This could win the game. But out of nowhere, Brooks Orpik slides in with a brutal knee-on-knee hit. Toews flies through the air, hit the ice hard, and just lies there. Everyone in the building goes silent. Then chaos. The Blackhawks bench erupt. The refs blow the whistle, but no penalty is called. 0. Toews is clearly hurt. Fans are booing, yelling. People start throwing cups and trash onto the ice. It's not just about one hit. It's about sportsmanship completely disappearing. Brooks Orpik later said it wasn't intentional. But come on. You watch that replay and decide for yourself. Toews missed games after that hit, and fans still talk about it like it was one of the dirtiest no-calls ever. And just like that, we've seen everything from cheap shots, meltdowns, and rule-breaking insanity. But guess what? In hockey, moments like these, they're just the tip of the iceberg. And that was just a taste of the chaos. From fake handshakes to dirty hits and locker room madness, the NHL isn't always about respect. Sometimes it's pure fire. Which moment blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments, and if you love this wild ride, smash that like button, subscribe to NHL Untold, and hit the bell so you never miss a story they don't want you to know.